Hi everyone. Would you like to know some interesting facts about sharks? Well, I'm going to share a few of them as I review the book Shark Biology and Conservation by John Hopkins University, published in September this year. So, many of us have a wide misconception about sharks as being cruel, vicious, and dangerous eating machines lurking in seas and oceans. But the truth is far from it. Sharks are not, they don't actively prey for humans. They mostly are, they actually, with big bodies, they need to eat as much as they can to provide them with energy because they move around the oceans. And this book is quite helpful to know more about them, to understand their behavior, their anatomy, and to dispel some of the myths associated with them. So, this is basically a four-part book, and the question arises that why I chose this book in the first place. Well, when I saw the first shark movie, my first shark movie, The Deep Blue Sea in 2000, um, then I had this fear and a keen interest to know more about the creatures. So I then saw a few movies about them, but then I soon realized that the movies are not the right material, the right source to know more about them. The only thing we can get more information is to read the articles, the publications released by scientists, by experts, or to watch documentaries in National Geographic or BBC. So this book is also one of the good materials that can be helpful for educators, for scientists, for experts, and for enthusiasts. Well, I'm not an educator or a scientist, but I'm an enthusiast. So the book does give me 60% of, if I may quantify, 60% of relevant materials about sharks, and the 40% are beyond my understanding about their anatomy and their physical physiology. So I will skim what I assimilated, what I absorbed, and will share the same information to all of you. So the first part starts with an introduction. It is basically very eye-catching and interesting to read. Then we move on to evolution. So we get to know that sharks have evolved from 400 million years. 400 million years. That is 200 million years uh, beyond dinosaurs. So they evolved from a very small leaf-like shaped fish to large megalodons and the present species. Well, speaking of species, they are quite diversified. I mean, the diversity is about more than 500 species of sharks, of which we only know a handful of them, like the great white, the tiger, mako, whale shark. So, but the majority of them, about 490 species or so, are less than 1 meter. They are very small, and yeah. And the next part we come is anatomy. Frankly speaking, if honestly speaking, I have skipped most of the parts because I could not make any sense of majority of the material. But I will speak about them all the same. So the anatomy speaks about the adaptational biology, basically how sharks work, their functional anatomy, their sensory biology, their reproduction, circulation, respiration, and metabolism, thermal physiology. So in this, we get to see that how sharks don't have bones, they don't only have cartilage, how they have a special electroreceptor organs, and by which they emit electrical signals to know the whereabouts of their prey, how they have a heightened sense of smell by using which they can sense blood from miles away, and they also have eyesight, good eyesight, but it is nothing compared to the sense of smell. Then we go to the next part, that is the ecology and behavior. So basically, it speaks about how sharks play a key role in the ocean ecosystem, and being the top in the food chain, how they impact, how they balance the fishes and the sea life. And we also get to know their migratory patterns when the climate change, when the seasons they change, they move from south to north and so forth. And we also get to see their behavior and cognition. So with an evolution of millions of years, they have developed a very sophisticated and very complex nervous system, and it also plays a it also plays a key role in their behavior and their cognitive abilities. And we then go to the human impacts. So we go to fisheries, how overfishing has taken a toll on the population of sharks, driving them to endangerment and near extinction. So here we see, as per the UN, about 80% of world's fish stocks are either fully overexploited, fully exploited, or depleted. So about 90% of fish stocks of large predatory fish are already gone. So if we strip off their food source, that is maybe tuna, maybe sardines, or the big fish, it also uh, takes seals and sea elephants from their diet. They also eat dolphins. So overfishing also impacts them. And just a few decades back, there was industries revolving around shark products. The shark fins was is also considered a delicacy, and when the fish net goes, it actually takes more than it intend to take from, and in it, it also catches sharks and also great white. You can see some YouTube videos where great whites are actually captured in trawlers and fishing nets. So we also see how human impacts, how climate change and how other human impacts also affect them. And for that, we also see climate change as a key factor for the rising shark attacks. And did you know that in 2020 alone, there have been 70 attacks all over the world, which makes it the highest figure since 2013. If we speak about Australia alone, Australia accounts for over 40% of the total attacks globally. About 30 shark maulings have been reported, of which 8 are fatal. And those are, believe me, those are very gruesome and very uh, shocking to know about. So I would leave at that. And so what climate change does is, climate change pushes sharks northward. So they visit the areas, they frequent the areas they have not conventionally done before. And this also, as the climate warms, people are more likely to venture into water, to play sports, to bath, to swim. That also is responsible for this more human and shark encounters. Also, the activities of humans like culling sharks and there have been shark hunters in Australia who illegally do shark huntings, and there is also a famous person. So these are the factors that are responsible for the depleting shark population, and this book also throws some light how humans can be more sensitized, more aware to know how sharks play a key role in the ecosystem. So like this book, but what I did not like is it is uh, entirely focused on academics and for scientists and experts, and less on the enthusiasts, the common people like me, and so who are writers or who are basically enthusiasts, have little knowledge about the biological aspect of the creatures. So, but nevertheless, I love it. And if you are a shark enthusiast, You can also read the book, and I have left the description in. I have left the link in the description box. So this is my review for this shark biology and conservation, and I will be doing some more reviews of non-fictions in the near future. Till then, thank you. Have a great day. Thank you very much.